Alright guys, this week I want to walk you through the setup for Project 2. This is the Netherlands 4-page spread. I wanted to get this done last week, but to be honest, I'm recovering from the flu and I actually lost my voice for a couple of days, so it made it so I couldn't really do any sort of recording. What I've got open here, as you can see, this is the assignment in Moodle with the specifications. Now there are a lot of specifications on this, very particular ones. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to go through this. So I'm going to leave that open in the background so I can kind of refer back to it when I need to. On the other side here are the Netherlands photographs to choose from that we all have. So, well, if you've downloaded them, I mean, I've got them in a file folder right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. Let's see. We've got a 8.5 by 11 inch pages, facing pages document, 4 pages. Start page on page number 2, 5/8 of an inch margin top, and 1 inch margin bottom, 3/4 inside. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up InDesign. I got this right here. Actually, I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller so I can actually see what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and create new. Anytime now. Okay, and we've got new document here. All right, so let's move this over just a little bit so we can see the whole thing. Okay, now this is the point here. A lot of the stuff that are in the specifications can be set up on the front end, which means you can do it when you're setting up your document. Okay, it's a lot easier to do it at the front end than it is to have to make changes, part way through because you realize you forgot something. So let's go ahead and we're going to switch. This is untitled 2. We can always change that to let's see, let's call it Netherlands. Netherlands project, let's call it that. Okay, and I'm going to switch this over to inches. Picas are what you typically use in newspapers and stuff, and they're all fine and good, but to be honest, inches are a little bit easier to visualize. Orientation is portrait, 8.5 by 11. The default, I had already been playing around with this, so you may have to change it to 4 pages, facing pages. You want to start on page 2. Okay. And now it says 2 columns. Okay. Let's double check the gutter. That's, let's see, it's 0.1667, 1667, right? Okay, and then let's take care of the margins. Okay, now we need a 5/8 of an inch top margin. If you do a quick check of decimals, that's 0.625. If you don't remember that. I'm going to unlink these because they're going to be different. So the top is 0.0625. And let's see. Let's see, there's a 1-inch bottom margin. Okay, so let's take that up to 1 inch. And let's see, the 5/8 of an inch outside. Okay, that's already set. That's that 0625, which we had before. And let's see, the inside is 5/8 of an inch. Let's see, is that right? Oh, that's 3/4 of an inch. Sorry, I misread that. So that would be, let's see, 3/4 of an inch. 625. There we go. 3/4 of an inch. All right, 0.75. Okay, and that should pretty much take care of most of the stuff that we need. Let me just double check about any sort of bleed and slug. Not seeing anything about that. It's always, if you want to give yourself a little bit of a bleed, that's always a good idea. I don't see anything here on that, but let's go with a little bit of a bleed all the way around. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and create. All right. Now let's go ahead and let this take over here. As you can see, we've got a couple of columns here, okay, on each page. We've got a total of 4 pages here with a 1-inch margin on the bottom, slightly smaller on top, okay. Now, the first thing that I think I'm going to do, now that I have the page set up, is I'm going to start putting in my page numbers, okay. Now, you notice when we set it up, it asked where to start the page numbers, and we put in 2, but they're not actually showing up yet. Okay, so we have to actually add those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a basic thing here. I'm going to go down about, let's see, another 1/4 of an inch here. I'm going to set up some guidelines just for myself. Makes it a little easier to space things out sometimes, especially if we're doing a header or a footer. So I'm going to drag these in here. Something like that. Okay. Okay, and now I just need to set up a page number. Now I'm going to go back here just a second to double check what it has to say. Okay, so let's see. Set up master page with footer information, which should contain the following text. Hang on just a second. I've got a crazy. Sorry about that little interruption. I had a cat climbing over my little fence here that I keep the animals out with. Okay. Anyway, all right. So we need to set up our master pages. I misspoke earlier. Actually, the page numbering begins on page 12, not page 2. Just misread that. So I already went ahead and changed that. And it's so we gotta have our page number. It's gotta be an M space. And then it's got to say adventures in italics. Okay, and these need to be mirrored as well. Says that means that the number needs to be on the outside of the page. Okay, so let's go back to InDesign here and set up our first one. I'm gonna just kind of zoom in here so I can more easily see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and grab our text box. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this is one of the reasons I set up a guideline. So I got a text box right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type in, let's see, we'll go with insert special character. Let's see, markers. Current page number. There's 12. Okay. Next, we're going to go do the same thing again. Insert white space, M space, and that's going to give us a little space right there. Now we still have our cursor going here, so we should be able to just type in adventures and then make that italic. Okay, there is our basic setup right there. Now, what I'm going to do though, rather than do this over and over and over again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my command key, that's on a Mac. I think if you are if you're on a PC, it'd probably be the option key. Or the Alt key, excuse me. I'm using the option. Okay. But anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab this and I'm going to hold on this key and I'm going to move this over here. Okay. As you can see, it duplicated it and also changed the number to the correct one. Okay. Now, the only thing is, of course, it's not mirrored yet, so we need to change that. So, let's go ahead and while this is selected, we should be able to change the orientation here. I'll just click on this and we'll put that there. Okay. The only thing is though, it's still not mirrored. So what we need to do is, well, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the word adventures here. Okay, and then I'm going to, let's see, insert my image space again right there, and then adventures. I could have, I probably should have just copied and pasted the word adventures so I don't have to reset the italics, but you get the idea. Okay, so there we've got our page numbers and they're mirrored. We can do the same thing again to put page numbers on these pages down below here. Actually, I'm going to bring down another guideline. I'll set that right. I think that looks about right. Whoop. No, it's not letting me. I need to zoom out in order to set up a guideline. Too close in here. Oh, that's weird. Okay, anyway. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little coughing fit. Okay, so back to setting up these page numbers. Okay, so I've got my page Adventures 13. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my Option key again. I'm going to drag this down here, and notice that when it gets the duplicate gets dragged, it automatically updates and becomes Adventures page 15. Nothing like smart tech, right? Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this one here. I'm going to hold down my Option key and drag this down. It creates a duplicate and it updates the page number so it is correct. And I just plop this right down here. Okay? All right, so that makes it real simple, just setting up your basic pages with page numbers. You got your footers there, all works good. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save as. You want to save and save often. Save as Netherlands project, format, all that. Okay, looks good. Click save. All right, there's our basic setup. Now I haven't started adding any pictures or anything like that yet. Let's go ahead and do that and start getting some ideas going here. So let's go ahead and grab our rectangle frame tool. I think I want to have a big graphic that's going to fill up the main first page here, and have that be the central focal point. Okay, so that's all set up now. Now I just need to plop something in there. So I'll go up to File, Place, and let's see what we got here with Amsterdam pictures. There's now I think that you know, it's all good, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of pictures of windmills and such, and that's a real kind of standard trope. So I think that's probably what I'll go with. I'll go with this Kinderjik windmill right here. I'll call that good. Open that up. And okay, as you can see here, it's not very big. Okay. And I need to make it a little bit bigger. Oh, I keep moving my little frame here. I need to adjust it so that I'm actually moving the thing itself. So there we go. I double clicked on it, and now I'm going to just hold down my Shift key and enlarge the whole thing until it is as big as I want and placed where I want. Okay, let's see how that looks. That's not too bad. And notice that the picture is only showing up where I want it to. Okay, let's adjust that slightly. And I'm going to move this guy over a little bit. You know, going with that idea about the Fibonacci spiral. You know, you don't want things dead center. You want things sort of off center. So you can draw the eye around wherever you need it to go. And that'll give me room for a headline over here, maybe some type here, and maybe some reverse text right in here. So I got a nice dark spot. So that should work. That should work. I'm going to adjust the move just a little bit here. You can see here that I've got this bleed going on. So there's a good runoff. Actually, could be a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. I think that should work. Okay. A little bit bigger. Okay. Just doing a little fine adjusting here. All right. Now, let's go ahead and start putting in some text and stuff. Now, as far as the title is concerned, it's pretty simple. It just says the Netherlands. So let's go ahead and pop that in here. I think what I'm going to do, I might just, so I don't select this by mistake, I'm going to go ahead and lock this. Boom, right there. Okay, that way I don't select it by mistake. It's really easy sometimes when you have a lot of things going on to select something by mistake and start moving it around, and you know, when you don't plan on it. So let's go ahead and type in the Netherlands. So I'm going to grab my text box here, and I want to stay within my margins, so I'll just make it about that big, just all the way across like a banner. I may go bigger than that. And I'm also going to be using a different font. I'll just type in the Netherlands right now. Right now it's a default font, which is what, Minion Pro or something regular. It's really boring. So I'll be switching that up. But first let's make it a bit bigger. I was going to shoot this up. I may even like wind up stacking my text depending on the font that I use. 70, 72, something like that. And let's go ahead and use a different font. I used one a little while ago called Tratatello that I kind of liked. There we go. That kind of works. Now, okay, that's a font that's working all right. I'm not wild about the placement of it though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that. Okay, so it's 2 lines. I don't like the spacing though, so I'm going to change that too. I'm going to make this part bigger though. So I'm going to, oop, look at that. It looks like it fell off the screen. It actually didn't. It just, the text box wasn't big enough. So, whoops. Oh, don't do that. You don't want to do that. Make this bigger. Okay, there we go. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Something like that, maybe. Now let's go ahead and gonna put these a little closer together. Something like that. Okay. Now I can take my text box itself and make it tight enough so it fits the so it fits around the box, so they don't so things don't kind of get in the way of each other. I kind of like the way those are working together. I think I might make this just a little bit bigger. Yeah, there it goes again. Again, like I said, you just gotta, there. Yeah, I like to have the, I want to have this overlap a little bit here, so it looks a little bit sharper. Okay. Now, as far as the, I don't really like the black. I think I might do something else with that. So, I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And let's go ahead and make this kind of a white. And let's give it a stroke too. Maybe a bluish stroke. Yeah, that's not too bad. It doesn't really jump out just yet. So I think what I might do, I might add a little bit of something. Maybe, let's see. Let's go up to, let's see, let's try an effect, maybe a drop shadow. Okay, kind of like the drop shadow, not wild about the gray. I think what I might do is just use the same color as the stroke. Yeah, kind of like that. And I think I'm going to take the opacity up, though. Take it all the way up. And hmm, thinking about changing the size a little bit. Um, hmm, take it down just a touch. There. See, now what I did there by taking the size down was I took all the blur off. So now it's just a solid shadow. I kind of like that better. I do. I might take the distance down just a touch too. Maybe not that much. There we go. Okay, that I like. So we'll click OK. Okay, and now I need to put in some text or something. I think there was a quote that we were supposed to use, so let me just double check that. Okay. All right, subheading or pull quote. Explore the Dutch landscape with blooming tulips, windmills, and canals. Discover historic cities, rich traditions, arts, and color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And I'm going to copy it. Rather than retype everything over again, it's easier just to copy and paste it rather than type it. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to make another text box right about here. And then I'm going to go ahead and before I paste, I'm going to make sure it's on that same Tonatello or Tratatello or whatever it's called font. And I'll go with I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, about 18, and then I'm going to paste. Okay. Yeah, that works a little bit better. One thing it also says, though, is that we want to have a drop cap. Okay? Well, a drop cap is pretty easy to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this E right here. That's going to be our drop cap. Okay? Now, I think there might be a way to just create one. But, you know, to be honest, it's quicker and easier just to do something like this, and then excuse me, it's over here, something like this. -6, something like that. Okay, that's a little bit too low. So, gonna need to put about 5 or so. Now, I also am gonna move this around a little bit and see which shape works better. That's not too bad. I'm not worried. I'm not wild about this. The word blooming there. It's almost like touching. So I might need to play with my leading and kerning a little bit. There we go. Something like that. Okay. Gonna go just a little bit bigger. There. Okay. So that kind of works. You know, I could think about moving it down here or something like that and doing it as in a white. All you got to do is just do that and see if that works. Nah, you know, I'm not wild about that. So undo, 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 undo. There. Okay. Now, one last thing that I wanted to mention to you guys. Okay, now in the assignment sheet, it talks about uh, using Greek text. And there is a file folder that is full of Greek text that you can copy and paste, right? But the thing is, though, uh, actually, InDesign is sort of beyond that. Um, you can now, InDesign has its own placeholder text that you can pop in there. I just noticed something. I need to do something real quick. I'm going to take my object here and I'm going to arrange my picture here. Okay, object arrange. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Okay. Anyway. Oh, it's because it's locked. Object unlock all and spread. All right. Object arrange. Send it back. Okay. I just noticed I forgot to send it back because I needed the my page numbers to show up here. Actually, right now it's a little on the hard to see, so I'm going to switch this around to a white. And for that matter, if I do that, I may move this down a little bit, this picture, just so that the page number is against that dark spot. So I'm moving this down so you can see the word adventures. Okay. I'm going to need to adjust my page here. Move that up a little bit. Back down again. There. Again, just sort of going back and forth, adjusting what I need to. This guy's a little bit on the small side right now. There it is. Okay. There we are. Okay, now Adventures is more readable. Okay, now anyway, back to what we were talking about here. So, say I wanted to actually start my text somewhere on one of these pages here. I don't know if that I would have it on the first page or not. I might just start off with something on the next page. But anyway, let me just show you that. If I want to go ahead and set up a some text, okay, I'm just going to create a text box for this column here. Okay, I have that set. I've got my cursor right there. It's the default Minion Pro 12 point. You know, that's the default. What you can do though, instead of copying and pasting the Greek text from the file folder, is just fill with placeholder text, and there you go. It's the same stuff. The Greek text that we use in printing and newspapers to fill in when we don't have a story yet. Now, again, this can, you know, these text boxes are set up for flowing text, so you can, so like right here, if I were to take my text box and make it smaller, okay, let's say I want to add a picture in here or something like that, like down in here or something. All I have to do, it's really simple, is just create another text box right here, and then take my cursor, click on, see this little plus sign, click on that, it loads my cursor up with the rest of the stuff, and then boom, I just drop it into the rest, okay? Now that makes it a lot easier to put in placeholder text, okay? So, so use it. You don't necessarily have to use the Word file that has the same Greek text. If, you know, just create your text boxes where you think they would look best and use type, fill with placeholder text. Really cool, really nifty kind of thing, okay? Now, this page right here, eventually I'd fill it in with graphics and all that kind of stuff and make the stuff pop out and really work. But I think this little video is already at about a half an hour, so I think I'll stop pretty soon and call it good. Okay. Hopefully that will help get you started on setting up this Netherlands page. Okay, remember it's 4 pages, got to be numbered. Okay, page numbers mirrored. Okay, so the numbers are on the outside, right? Okay, and just go from there. Okay, all right. I'll talk to you guys later.